What's going on, pool chasers, and welcome to episode 102 of the podcast. We've got a very special guest today joining us all the way from Canada. His name is Lorne Sederoff, and he is the Director of Channel Development at SearchKings. SearchKings specializes in search engine marketing. And as you all know, people are searching Google every single day looking for pool service, repairs, builders. The list goes on and on and on. And that's why it's so important to know the fundamentals of marketing your business on Google. In this episode, we're going to be discussing why your business needs to be on Google. What is SEO? Google My Business and some of the key features that come with it. Google Ads versus organic SEO, local search, the Google Guarantee Program, what to expect when working with SearchKings if you need help managing your Google Ads. We hope you all enjoy this episode. This conversation is great for anybody at every level. We have vetted SearchKings for a couple years now, and when we have people on the show, we want to make sure that, one, they are knowledgeable, but most importantly, they are serving our industry with the highest level of integrity and character. So without further ado, let's dive into our conversation with Lorne Sederoff of SearchKings.
Welcome to your go-to podcast for the pool and spa industry. My name is Tyler Rasmussen.
And my name is Greg Viafania. And this is the Pool Chasers Podcast.
All right. Well, we're super excited to have you on the podcast today, Lorne. Can you tell us a little bit about SearchKings and your role there?
Sure. My name is Lorne Sederoff. I'm the Director of Channel Development at SearchKings. We are a SEM, search engine marketing company. We work with small and medium-sized businesses to help them generate new customers and grow their business through online marketing. I'm also joined here by Demetra. She's a Senior Account Manager here at SearchKings and manages pool clients as well as other types of industries. So thanks for having us. We're thrilled to be on.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We're going to jump all into this topic here shortly. But first, how did you kind of get into this specific type of marketing?
Well, SearchKings has been around for 10 years, and where we landed was we needed to make sure that we were giving value to our customers, and there's some key pieces there. One was we didn't want to be in a relationship with a client with a contract. We hate contracts. Phone contracts are annoying. Internet contracts are annoying. So our position right off the bat was we wanted to be a no contract company. And in order to do that, we needed to be able to know ourselves if what we were doing was making our clients money. As the idea that if a customer is going to give us $3,000 a month, we need to know how much money they made off of that $3,000 investment. If we don't know if they made money, or if they don't know they made money without contracts, they're going to move on to the next shiny idea or the next person that calls them and suggests they're going to make more money online doing it another way. So with no contracts, what we felt was the best place to measure a return on your advertising dollars was in the ad space, in the search engine marketing space, where you have a budget that you put into Google or to Microsoft, and then everything's tracked so you know how much you've made coming out. That's where SearchKings fits in the whole internet world, is primarily home service companies that need the phone to ring. And once that phone rings, they need to be able to acquire customers. And if we can help make that happen at the right pace, then that customer's ours for a very long time. But the idea is if they don't need phone calls because they're busy, well, let's turn off the advertising so that they're not paying anything. And when they are ready to pick up a new job or 2 new jobs, then let's turn the advertising on. So the idea of a faucet, turning it on, turning it off, really resonated with us as this is the way to go, as opposed to a directory style or a listing or just a website that you hope people find organically. That really didn't fit in with us being super transparent and wanting data to prove our worth.
Awesome. Thank you. So let's start with a basic question. Why do businesses need to be on Google?
Super question. I think, when we compare this back in the day to the 80s and 90s, you opened up that yellow pages and you kind of flip to plumber or you flip to pool builder or landscaper in my market, and there were ads, and some of them were half page and some were full page, and off you went. Now the internet is where everyone goes. You could see a sign on the side of the highway for a company. Well, what are you going to do after you see that company sign? You're probably not writing down the phone number. You're going to go home and you're going to Google that company's name because it struck you as appealing. So really, the internet and Google is where everyone comes once they have an idea or an inquiry. So being on the Google search page becomes essential. It's just a matter of where do you show up on the search page, and how often you show up becomes based almost exclusively on your goals. If you have enough customers through referrals, and when you're doing a job at a house and you end up with 3 more jobs in that community, and that's how you generate new business, then as long as you can be found on Google when someone looks for you by name, you're fine. You probably don't need to spend any money online, frankly. I would discourage you from spending money online. If you're a company that wants new customers, well, now you need some predictability around how many new customers am I going to get calling me, and how much does that cost, right, to acquire a new customer. So that's really the work. And our first conversation with pool company owners when they call us is, what's a new job worth to you, right? What's that job worth? And if that job is worth $35K, what is the acquisition cost worth? And once we establish an acquisition cost, now we have a target. And if we can't hit that target, then we'll fall on the sword. But if we can hit the target and we can bring in new customers at $500 a quote, if you can get to someone's house and be quoting for $500, that might be palatable.
Right. So since we're talking about this, you got to get found somehow, and that has a lot to do with SEO, the search engine optimization. We know that you guys are more in the SEM side of things, search engine marketing. But can you explain, what SEO is and how it works, maybe more specifically to Google?
Sure. So let's think of it this way. If a customer knows your company name, okay, and they type that into Google, they're going to find your company as long as your web page is active. They should find your Google My Business page, which is that listing with the map section. So what I would encourage all listeners is go to Google and type in your company name. Now you're representing someone who's seen your ad somewhere, and if they can find you directly by company name, that's really in the SEO or the organic, that's your check mark that you're in the right position. Okay, so that's if they type your company name, and we would call that a branded search because your company is a brand. That shouldn't cost you very much at all a month. Your website hosting might cost $50 to $100, or if you wanted to link to an article or something, you spend $100, maybe $200 a month on making sure people can find you when they type your company name. Okay, that Google Map listing is free. We can share out the link with you guys for how to register your map listing. And then you get reviews to that map listing. So when someone searches for you by company name, they read positive reviews, they see a nice website, you have a better chance at the acquisition. But all of what we just talked about was someone knew you. They had an idea that your company existed and they wanted to learn more. I would classify that as your search engine optimization, because you shouldn't really have to spend too much money on that. They're going to find you if they know your name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for pool service anyway, or if somebody wanted a pool to be built in their backyard, a more general search might be pool service near me or pool builders near me. And when I think of SEO, I think of you want to be on the first page of Google when people are making those type of searches. So I'm sure for anybody that's listening, you want to have a Google My Business, correct? And making sure that that is all filled out correctly. Can you talk a little bit about Google My Business and maybe some of the features that are on there?
Yeah, so Google My Business think of it like the white pages of the phone book. That's your listing. So you just need to register your business and have a fixed address that Google can confirm that you work out of. Okay. So if, as an audience, I love the idea that we're actually talking to the audience and they're listening right now and doing something. I would say go to Google and type in Google My Business. From there, you'll be able to register your company, submit your services, your target area, your hours of operation. Okay. You can also add photos. None of this costs you a dime. Okay. Take a couple good photos, link to your website, and then those reviews are certainly very important. So on your Google My Business page, which hasn't cost you any money yet, get customers to leave you reviews. Okay. And when the customer leaves you a Google review, now that homeowner who sees you says, okay, 52 Google reviews, a 4.9 rating. Let me read the recent ones. This is your social proof. And social proof is huge, right? And so your social proof comes from your Google My Business page, reflecting job well done, photos, link to website, and a phone number for them to call.
Yeah, and that's extremely powerful, even the photos, right? Because because it's almost like a social media channel where you can post photos like you would on Facebook or Instagram, different things like that. But it's the photos that you can post on Google and write a description of that photo or post that is linked to your overall business, and it's helping the actual search of your business. Am I right?
Yeah, you want this to be your homepage that you probably don't need to revisit very often. You upload a photo now and then, you make sure your reviews are populating. It's really not a tremendous amount of work. And I would say it's the first checkbox for all listeners. Do I have a Google My Business page? Is it registered? Do I have photos? Can I get reviews? Right? And that's where people are going to find you if they look you up by company name. So super important.
Yeah, kind of speak to that. So if you have someone that perhaps has found you, whether they're using your organic listings or whether they find you through Google Ads or any other type of SEM service, this is one way that you will differentiate from your competitors. How many reviews do you have? What kind of feedback you get from your clients? So it's really important to supplement that in whatever advertising you use. And like I said, that can come from any sort of referral sources.
Right. Thank you. And it's probably a good way once you get a review to actually share those on other social media places that you can actually put a link within it. So if people have used your services before, they can link maybe back to Google to read that review, and it gives them an opportunity without you kind of asking for it, where they can actually make a review. So it helps in, sharing those reviews as well. It does so many good things.
The idea of asking for reviews, that's not something that we should be shy about. We should be assertive in the home building space. This is people's treasure. Their kingdom is their home. If a company is doing good work in someone's kingdom or home, ask for the review. And we coach our clients on it all the time because social proof is everything now. Simply ask the homeowner, have I done everything we needed to do here to make sure that you're happy? Yes? Okay. Would you mind leaving a Google review? It allows our company to highlight our success or whatever you're going to say. And now, if you can text message with the client or you're emailing with them, however you're working with them, send them the link to your Google My Business page. And all they have to do is one click and they're leaving you a Google review. The Google reviews are important because the person leaving the review has to have a Google account. So the review is more legitimate than just, you asking your 5 buddies to leave you a review just to get you rolling. Everyone needs a Google account in order to leave a review.
And they're all going to come up, unlike Yelp, where they can kind of go, if they don't look like they're, I don't know, legit. Yeah. They'll just kind of be, it's counted as the overall amount of reviews that you have, but it won't be recommended. It won't be a recommended review. Exactly. If there are any companies, listening to this right now that don't have a physical location, do you have any advice for how they can get on Google My Business and have access to Google My Business, because it also comes with Google Analytics, where those are all very powerful tools that you want in order to, track the data from your website and keywords, different things like that. But if you don't have a physical address in terms of like an actual warehouse or an office, what do you recommend? Because it can be kind of sketchy, using your home address as the location.
So the feature on Google My Business asks, do you want to show your address on the public page? So when you indicate, no, I don't, well, now they're going to see your pool company and they'll know your target market, but they won't know your exact address. Okay. But it's important that you do register an address, because that's where you're working out of. So that's your home office. That's legitimate. You may not inventory, which is fine, but at least you have listed yourself so that you have a presence on Google My Business.
Okay, perfect. So that's we've never done that. So I'm sure that's they'll send that postcard if that's the way that it goes. It's weird for ours. They just wanted a code. So Google actually just sent a code text and you just put it in when doing the listing. But for the most part, it'll send a postcard somewhere. So you could still get the postcard to your house, but it's not going to show the address. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on Google publicly, you won't show your home address. So that the idea is that customers who want to learn more aren't going to show up.
Yeah.
Right. You're not welcoming in public. So yeah, it's as you're filling in the Google My Business profile, it's just a drop-down question. Do you want your address to show?
Right.
Our passion to seek pool industry knowledge and being able to share that knowledge with you is the reason we started Pool Chasers. Turns out Pentair has several ways for you to gain knowledge as well. Take, for example, the Pentair Master Service Program. This is a program designed to recognize dealers, service technicians, and other pool professionals for completing desired training modules. It gives you the tools you can use to troubleshoot Pentair installations in the field and become a master of Pentair product knowledge. Be rewarded for educational activities designed to enhance your Pentair knowledge as you move through the certification levels. With 3 levels to work through, becoming a certified Pentair professional has never been easier. It's training that rewards you and your business. But the real value comes from building your confidence in the field to ensure the customer loyalty you need to keep your business growing. We encourage you to check this out. So to become a certified Pentair professional today, visit pentairpartners.com or click the link in the write-up below.
So let's jump into the paid marketing side of this, which is what you guys do extremely well, and how that is different than maybe a more organic SEO. Like, how are those two different?
Sure. So to keep things consistent with what we've been talking about, if someone looks for your company by name and they find you, that's essentially the free lead that comes in the organic space. Where we get into how do you generate more business is what happens when someone's looking for a pool company near me, or best pool company in at X market. Okay. What happens then is Google will place the ads at the top of the page for companies that are bidding on those keywords. So best pool company in Tucson. Okay. And now you can place an ad at the top of the page. The homeowner has not made a decision on which pool company they're looking at. So instead, it's essentially an open opportunity to show up at the top of the page with a paid ad that speaks to the service that the customer is looking for. So vinyl pool or jacuzzi install, right? You can now target those keywords with ads that highlight your values, your value add, years in business, exceptional pricing, free quotes, free on-site visit, whatever it might be, 20-year warranty, whatever. This is your chance to throw an ad up to that customer who is asking for a pool company. Okay. So, and again, we hope everyone will go to their computer for a moment and do pool company near me or best fiberglass pool company in my area, whatever, right? Pool service company. So now those ads, if written well, will speak to the customer who's looking. with value propositions. Okay, that's step one. If that ad gets clicked on by that customer, potential client, okay, they click on the ad, they now visit the website. You with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, so that transaction of seeing the ad doesn't cost anything to the pool company. The click on the ad and the visit to the website is what costs the money. That's where Google gets paid for the click. It's a pay-per-click model. So now you have a potential customer on your website because you paid and bid on the keywords. Now they're on your website. We're good so far?
Yeah, and that's kind of just talking about that. The pay-per-click is different than how a lot of people advertise on social media, right? Where you're going to pay for just people to actually see your advertisement and they don't do anything for it, where you don't get charged on Google until somebody actually clicks on the actual ad. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's why it's a performance marketing strategy. You pay for the performance. So in a social media model where you talk about how many people see your ad, right? And it could be in the thousands or hundreds of thousands. Those are what's called impressions or eyeballs. So the idea that you market and eyeballs see your ad, okay, is one method of advertising. Whether it's an effective method or not, really, as long as you can measure your ROI, then you decide if it's making you money. In the pay-per-click model, you're paying for that website visit. So now I paid, let's say $45 for that website visit. Well, what happened on the website now? Did they visit the installation page? Did they visit the reviews page? Did they visit the gallery? Did they call? Did they fill in an inquiry? Right? So now we're getting closer to measuring the return on the investment, because they're on the page for the $45, hypothetical $45, just to use it. Now, how many of those people, okay, have called you? Okay. So now here's the most important piece. The clicks, while they're meaningful, you got a pool company to run. You can't worry about how many clicks you're getting. You care about how many booked appointments or quotes you're landing out of this performance marketing. So what has to happen then is every inquiry needs to be tracked. So customer A filled in a form saying, please come to see me for a pool quote. That is tracked. So now we know that was credited to an ad click, and we can measure, did that become an active, a booked appointment? Okay. Phone calls can be recorded, and we require that so that we know if it's working or not. Phone call gets recorded. So now you're able to listen to that homeowner calling in to say, hey, would you guys be able to come out next week to give me a quote on my backyard? Or I have a pool and I need service. Now you're listening to the phone call and you're recording their address, and you're saying, okay, we booked a job with them.
Dude, that's
so
badass.
When you look at the details of the call recordings, you'll know I spent $3,000 this month. I booked X number of quotes, X number of service appointments. My revenue for this month was X. My recurring revenue anticipated for this year is Y. And as a small business that we work with, if you're only making money on that initial transaction, you might be leaving a little bit to be desired, because there's a little bit of extra room there for you to get monthly recurring revenue off of a client in the pool industry, right? As long as you provide service.
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you put in each month? What was your immediate return? And then what's your recurring return after that? That's the model. And whatever marketing company you use, as long as you can measure that, you're probably going to know whether to increase your budget in marketing or decrease your budget in marketing, or maybe you just want to knock it out of the park in March and April and really blow the doors right off your marketing, book appointments through to the end of June, and then shut down your marketing, right? You're booked. So in the SEM space or the paid space, your budget is entirely controlled by your capacity. You tell us or whatever marketing company, turn it down, turn it off.
So if you're not like open on the weekends or something, you can shut those off and then start them back up on Monday or something.
Yeah, for sure. Your hours are flexible. The other thing that's in the pool industry that we work very closely with our clients on is which communities do you want to target with your advertising, right down to the zip codes, because there's no point in putting an umbrella with your $3,000 a month over the entire San Diego market, right? Or the entire, Tucson market. Let's focus on communities that are likely to be wanting to put in pools or that have pools, and we want to target service. So one size fits all covering an entire city doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I think another kind of big differentiation between SEO and SEM, specifically with Google Ads or Bing, is because pool renovations, building a pool is very seasonal. You want to make sure that you get the most bang at when people are looking or at their peak search times. So with SEO, it's a gradual process, whether that's applying certain page titles or whatever it may be, that takes time. With any sort of SEM, immediately you could post or enable your ads, and immediately you'll now hover around the top page of the search results. So you're able to occupy ad real estate when eyes are actually on there, which is a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm sure that you are actually building up organic SEO through actually getting clicks on paid ads, because, people are actually visiting, you're getting unique visitors to your website. Yeah, it was paid, but you're still getting traffic. And if people are staying on there for 10 minutes and they're kind of jumping around and they're maybe calling your business, I'm sure Google likes that, and you're slowly kind of moving up in the SEO ranks. I don't know that for sure. I would think that the more, people click on your website, that would happen.
So Google's funny with that. They've never specified how you're measured organically or how you rank organically. There's controversial literature in terms of whether Google Ads has any effect on your SEO rankings. Intuitively, that makes sense. Another thing to kind of touch on, and this goes back to you, regardless of how you get traffic onto the site, one of, in my opinion, Google's best feature is, aside from just someone typing in a search query, your ad coming up, someone clicking on your business or rather your ad and then coming to your website, is once that engagement happens, once you're on that website, you're now going to be added to a pool or an audience list. That pool or audience list is now going to be used in a remarketing campaign. So there's two types of networks in Google. We have the search, someone typing in a search query, and then we have display. One of the features of display is the remarketing campaigns. That pool is now going to be shown a banner ad that highlights whatever promotion or anything you really want to resonate with your client. So they leave, and now you're going to see banner ads on different websites that they visit. So not only is there value in getting that initial engagement, but the value of having the ability to re-engage with that visitor throughout their kind of sales cycle is really important.
Yeah, that is really cool. I like that feature a lot. I want to go back a little bit because I thought that this was a really cool feature that you guys offer, is actually being able to record these calls, because I think that's something that people should think about. Is if, say, we pay you to do our Google ads and we're getting a lot of, clicks where we want them on our website, but there's no conversions, nothing is happening. We're not getting any business from it. Are we able to actually listen to those calls, and we might figure out that, one, we're not answering the phones, we're not asking the right questions, we're not booking correctly? Is that what you're able to do with those recorded calls? Where it's like you're studying, I guess, like game film, like coach or players would do is kind of look at where they made, mistakes, out on the field.
100%. The insight that the call recordings have is for both us at SearchKings to be able to modify the campaign, because then we get insight into what kind of leads we're getting for your company, right? Then we consult with you. Are these the kind of leads you want? Should we bid on other keywords or increase bid for certain keywords, right? So that's how the call recordings help us improve the performance. It gives us the insight into the leads that are coming in. But for you as a pool company owner, it gives you insight into every potential new person that's virtually coming through your door, right? What time of day did they call? Who answered the call length, right? And then actually, what was the sentiment on the call, right? So not all leads are good leads. That's for sure. You might take a third of your leads and say these were garbage. Okay, so now we got 2/3 of the leads that we would consider legitimate opportunities. What happened out of those 2/3 of the leads? And let's say there's 9 total calls, okay? And 6 of them are decent opportunities. Well, let's go into each of the 6, go back to your CRM or whatever you have for your reporting, and figure out how many booked appointments came out of the 6. And is there any employee training that needs to happen? Or should you not be advertising at the time when you don't have the right person to answer the call, right? And I'll tell you this, people advertising from 4 to 6 p.m. on a Friday, right? Tough time to advertise, because the people who are answering the call, unless they're the business owner, that person is thinking about, getting out of there for the weekend, and they really don't want to spend that much time on the call.
Right.
So A, retrain, or B, don't pay for marketing at a time where you can't dominate on the phone. And dominating on the phone is the difference between you spending money and it being okay and you winning market share, right? Because if you can close on those phone calls, then it's just a matter of how many more phone calls can we get you.
Sure. Yeah.
As a pool pro, you know how much of a headache leaking pools can be for you and your customers. Anderson Manufacturing's goal is to help you turn those leak problems into profits. As the industry leak experts for over 30 years, Anderson is the best source for quality equipment and repair supplies. They also have the educational resources you need to be successful. By using the free materials on leaktools.com or attending hands-on training, you'll be finding leaks in no time. Plus, the people at Anderson are always available to offer helpful advice, whether that's talking you through a tough job or making equipment decisions. If leak detection sounds like the right opportunity for you, give Anderson a call at 1-800-348-1316 to get started with a custom equipment package, or browse their complete line of leak detection and repair solutions at leaktools.com. If you choose to have someone else do your leak work, make sure that they're using Anderson equipment to get the job done right. As a special thank you to our listeners, they'll be adding a free set of LeakMaster products to your next order when you enter the code PoolChasers during checkout. Also, if you have not heard episode 87 yet, we suggest you go listen to it, as we interviewed Lance and Brad of Anderson Manufacturing to discuss all things leak detection. So to find out more, click the link below.
We're going to move on a little bit from kind of the SEO and a lot of the things. This was all really good stuff, but let's talk about local search. What exactly is local search? Because pretty much everybody that's listening to this right now is they have a service, pool service, or they're building pools in an area where it's just this city or the surrounding cities or maybe the entire state, but still it's some type of local service. Can you just describe what local search is on Google?
So local search would be those Google My Business pages. Okay, that's your most focused local search on Google. And to go back to the features there, that's where your reviews are, right? That's where your map listing shows the market that you serve and your photos. Okay, so you don't need to invest a lot of money in making your local search page pop. Okay, and the way local search ranks is in the Google Maps section is the nearest company to the searcher is going to show up in that space. Okay, so there's no way for you to improve your local search presence in markets beyond your zip codes. So it's limited in exposure, but it's excellent in the zip codes that you are physically in, which is why you need a fixed location. Okay.
Yeah. And what are some things what have you seen that really hurts companies that they don't do on Google My Business? Because you need Google My Business to really optimize the local search. What have you seen that people aren't doing? Because I did say something earlier about not being transparent and not having the same information on other other social media platforms and different things like that. But what have you seen that really hurts people?
I would say on the Google My Business page, the look fors are your hours accurate? Okay. If I'm a homeowner and I see that you're open and I call and no one answers the phone, I'm moving on. I'm not going to try that hard. Okay. So the accurate hours is number one. Number two is negative reviews and positive reviews should be responded to. So and not every review, you don't have to go crazy about it, but think about the fact that if I'm the homeowner and I'm looking up your company and I read your reviews, does the homeowner just trust the other reviewers? I want to hear from the pool company. I want to hear that you enjoyed working with that customer that gave you a 5-star, or the one who gave you a 1-star because they're a whack job. What's your explanation? Right? So sorry, we couldn't come out at the time promised. The weather dictated, and we did call to apologize. So sorry you feel that way. Now, me judging your company, because that's what I'm doing when I read your reviews, I'm judging you. I have a little bit more balance to that negative review because you've explained your perspective as a business, and the business isn't going to be perfect. The guy got a flat tire on the way. Okay. Right? Or the filter wasn't working, but it's under warranty and you've replaced it. So let's communicate that publicly so that the potential new customer says, oh, these guys care, right? So that's where the mistakes lie in setting up your Google My Business page and having reviews flow in that you never respond to, or pictures that aren't relevant. Landscaping companies, if it's spring and summer, right? It's different down in the Sun Belt, but as you go further north, you want to show seasonal pictures to show this is what work looks like in the spring and summer.
It's probably really important to make sure that you're choosing the right service type and maybe looking at your top competitors in the area. So if I'm doing pool service in Scottsdale, I want to see who's crushing it around here and see what their service type is. Because I think you shouldn't try and reinvent the wheel. You should be looking at who's dominating it because they've got some knowledge about this, but making sure that you're not, putting yourself as I don't know why anybody would put themselves as a HVAC company or a plumber to kind of have an edge, but making sure that you are, describing, your company the best way possible in the description, and making sure that you actually, you're just doing everything that Google offers you. Because I know they give you was it 700 or 1,000 characters to describe your business? You should utilize every bit of that space, because I'm sure that has something to do with SEO as well.
Yeah, the other piece I would say there in this industry that we focus on with you guys in the pool building industry, these are big jobs. So there may be an irrigation component to this. There could be a landscape component. There could be a jacuzzi install. There could be a cabana build, right? So you want to be able to offer these services, even if you're subbing it out and you're going to act as general contractor. These are profitable acquisitions. So don't limit yourself to just a fiberglass pool company if you can offer multiple services, right? And that in the paid space is where you can really create an ad based on the person's search topic, right? So if they're looking for cabana pool builder or cabana builder, do you want to show up? Because you can outsource the cabana part and they're probably putting some water in their backyard and you're going to take that part of the job. So, and that's where your marketing company has to come in. As long as they know the industry and they know what's profitable for you and what jobs you can take on, now there's an opportunity to build from there. Okay. So, the irrigation job isn't worth a high ticket, but is it worth a phone call? And let's decide after 2-3 weeks, how much have we spent on the irrigation leads, hypothetically, to decide, is this worth the opportunities to get in this person's backyard?
Right, definitely. And I'm sure you have heard this before, but this is something we have heard quite a bit is, what do you say when somebody, tells you that they don't need to be on Google because everything is word of mouth? And because we hear that a lot, and it's usually from maybe the son or daughter that's going to step into this role and take over the business, and they're trying to bring it into the digital age, and they know that it's important because word of mouth will wear out at some point in time. Just curious what your answer would be to a question like that.
I think it's a good starting point. You have word of mouth referrals. That's the core of your business. You don't neglect that. First and foremost, you find ways to grow the word of mouth business and the referral business as step one. But how long is this company supposed to be bringing in income for? Is it you're retiring in 5 years, you're on your way out, and word of mouth is enough? Or are you looking to grow by 20%, sustain growth? What's your business model? And then let's start consulting on that. So hypothetically, your business model is you want to grow by 25%. Okay, so how many new customers are you getting from referrals, right? And now what's left to go acquire from marketing? The other piece I would say, even those people who are coming to you through referrals are still visiting your website. They're still reading your reviews, right? And you can still remarket to them. So someone who's come to your website on a referral, maybe you want to spend $300 a month following people around who've been to your website, right? There are small budget solutions if you just want to dip your toe in acquisition. And then for those companies who say, okay, I want to grow by 25% and referral business is allowing me to grow by 10%. Well, where's that 15% going to come from? And that's where's the new customers? Where's the best pool company near me? Okay. How much is that going to cost? And how many new customers can I get from that? So I love the referral business. It's amazing. There's a way to foster that and grow that rather than say, I'm worried about that and completely not, you should never neglect that referral business. That's huge.
Yeah. And you don't want to decide to be on Google when it's too late, because something we haven't discussed fully yet is Google Guarantee. And I'm sure if that ever passes for any in the pool business, that's going to make it a lot more complicated because you're going to have actual Google guaranteed companies, and you're just going to be having to compete with those companies. So that's going to definitely be much more difficult. Can you explain maybe just what that is really quick?
Yeah, no, for sure. What I would say, again, the first way I would describe this is go to your computer and type in lawn care near me. Okay, or plumber near me. And what you'll see is that above the ad space, there's a Google Guarantee directory. And these are basically companies that have been vetted by Google, okay, and approved for top of page placement. The approval is you prove that you have a license to do business in your state, you prove that you have insurance, and that there's been background checks done on the people doing the work in the home, typically the business owner. Okay. So this is relevant for us because the lawn care and landscaping industry is now eligible for the Google Guarantee program. Okay. And you may not see it in every market because it's just being rolled out. At SearchKings, we've been living in the Google Guarantee section since 2017. We have over 2,000 customers on this program, and now landscaping becomes eligible. Pool building is not yet, but our commitment to you guys, Tyler and Greg, is that we'll make sure you know exactly what's happening with Google Guarantee every step of the way. Right now, if a listener owns a landscaping company, you should be looking into Google Guarantee now. It's not expensive, and I would say it's future proofing, because Google changes. And as Google changes, if you're spending money in the wrong bucket, you're missing out on a new opportunity, potentially for less money. Because if you can get on early, we have lots of evidence that when you get on early, you win in this platform. Landscaping companies have a call to action right now. Look into Google Guarantee. We can help, and reach out to Tyler and Greg. They'll direct you. And pool companies, we are staying abreast to when that is an eligible industry for Google Guarantee.
Very
good.
cool. Yeah. Well, it's been a great talk, and there's a ton of small businesses in our, field. How does a small business determine if SearchKings is right for them, and what can they expect?
I would say that when you're working with a marketing company, they need to know your industry, because they need to know where the profit is going to come from and where the lost leaders are going to come from. It's important to know that a service job could eventually turn into a replacement, right? You're going out to fix someone's pool. Now you got a relationship with them, and in 3 years from now, it might be a replacement. We understand the industry. Whatever marketing company you're going to work with needs to understand the industry. Next, we don't have contracts. So it's crucial that you're working with a company that's performing every month, because the small businesses we work with, they don't have 10 grand a month to drop into a bucket and not see a return on it.
Right.
Most of our clients spend between 3 and 8 grand a month. Okay. They need to be seeing a return over 20 G's minimum, right? Otherwise, this isn't working. So month to month holds your marketing company accountable. Okay. And then the next piece is when you're working with a company, and this is just a little bit technical, there's what you pay Google because it costs for those clicks, and then what you pay your agency to manage that. Okay. Ask your marketing company, are they charging you a percentage of what you spend, or are they charging you a flat fee for their service? We're a flat fee service company. So the idea would be, if your company is spending 3 grand this month, okay, and let's say we're charging you $600 for our work, you're being charged 3 grand by Google. They get their money, okay, or Microsoft, or a combination of both, and we have $600 for our services. If you are growing and now you want to spend $5,000 a month, amazing. That's exactly what we're here to do. We don't increase our fee to $800 or $900. Our fee is based on our work, not based on how much you're spending. So the profit is all yours. We're not motivated to get you, hey, client, you should spend 15% more so we can make 15% more. We don't feel that's honest, and it's not transparent. So flat fee management fee with no contracts basically says, okay, SearchKings, we're going to hire you, and we have to dominate this and know we're dominating this in order to keep it going. And our model works because once we dominate for you, we know you're going to refer someone else in the home service industry that might be related. It might be the roofer down the road that you have a relationship with. And, that's how we've grown to 3,000 plus customers.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's how we heard about you in the first place. Is we have friends in the business and different industries and things like that. And they've just said the best things about SearchKings and what you guys do. And myself and Tyler were talking, we're like, dude, that must have been rough in the beginning, coming up with that, no contract model, just doing it month to month. But to us, that's what we did with our pool service company. Is we didn't have, it was all month to month. There was no contracts because we were confident in the work that we did. And we knew that if we did the right thing day in, day out, that there would be no reason for anybody to leave. And we think that that's exactly what you guys are doing. You're confident in that you're going to make these small businesses or big businesses, you're going to make them money.
Right. Exactly. And we made a promise to listeners, as we always have, to vet who we have on this podcast. And there's a reason we haven't done one of these for 100 episodes. Like, we think you guys do it legit, and we wanted to give the audience a good opportunity to find somebody that does that.
The last thing I would say is you need to be in the business of making sure you know where your money's going if you're going to market your company. And if you can't measure your return on something, maybe you don't need to put as much money into that strategy, right? And with SearchKings, we make sure that we can track the profit for you in order for you to know that it's working. We don't work with corporations with hundreds of thousands of dollar budgets. This is, people with families to feed and families to grow. So small business owners is our passion.
Very good.
One last thing before we go, can you kind of just tell people how to get in touch with you and SearchKings?
Sure. Check us out online, searchkings.com. You can always email us. We have an email address just for our pool chaser friends at poolchasers@searchkings.com. And I'll be getting that email directly, as well as our team. So and we're priding ourselves on getting back to people within 24 hours and getting a sense of what your company is looking to do. There's no set plan for a pool company. It's really individualized, and I hope that we'll have a chance to talk to lots of you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Pool Chasers. Thanks for checking out this episode. Did you know that each episode has its own page on our website? This is where you can find more information about the guest and episode topic, as well as all the resources that we discuss throughout the show. To get to the webpage, click the link below. Also below, you will find links to the sponsors of the show, as well as links to follow us on our social media channels. On our channels, you will find some of our favorite clips and bonus material. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Our tag is Pool Chasers. We also have a Facebook group for the Pool Chasers community. Here you will find like-minded professionals all looking to make each other better. One last thing. If the episode has brought you value, please check out our Patreon page to support us. And if you could please rate and review the podcast, we would love to hear what your favorite topics are. Thank you for your time and your ear.
See you out there, Pool Chasers.